Hello, I thought I would share my thoughts on homeschooling stress today. I've had a couple of emails from clients who are doing the whole homeschool thing, and I've given them similar advice. So I just thought I would share it with the wider circle of people, because I know that there's many of you out there that are dealing with the pressures of homeschooling with your little darlings. And although I'm a bit of a smug mummy right now because all my children have grown up and left home, I do remember what it's like to feel overwhelmed and pissed off with the little darlings. It's not easy. It's not easy to sort of manage your own state when the little lovies are just making you pull your hair out. But I thought I'd just share a couple of tips that you might find useful. Number one, are you setting your expectations too high for homeschooling? There's only like one of you, or perhaps two of you, if you're doing homeschooling as a joint exercise as parents. You're not a team of teachers, and you're not professionally qualified. Yeah. You are doing this on an amateur, non-voluntary basis. Probably the worst type of basis you could be operating from, because you're probably going to want to be able to give your child the same experience as they would being professionally schooled by trained professionals, and it's an unrealistic expectation. And especially if you are comparing yourself to others. Okay, if you're watching videos online about this is how to homeschool easily, and you're thinking, why aren't I finding it as easy and straightforward, and why do I want to murder my children? And it's just a recipe for disaster to compare yourself to what somebody else chooses for you to see, because behind the scenes it may not be as perfect as they are making out. One of my clients has a child with suspected ADHD and autism, and that is a challenge just for everyday living, let alone trying to get them to concentrate on schoolwork. And if they can get their child to focus for just 20 minutes, then that's a huge win. You know, it's huge, and they should congratulate themselves, and they should reward the child for just being able to give that of themselves. And don't worry that you can't do this high level of education that you feel you need to do for your children, because you worry it's going to impact them long term if they miss out on sort of staying up to date with everybody else and keeping up and making sure that they are on track when they all get back to school. There will be people that are doing better than them, and there will be people that aren't doing as well as them. And even if they are at the bottom of the pile, if you've all done as well as you can, then that's okay, you know. And if you can just perhaps even get 3 hours a day of happy study, it's going to be more valuable to them in the long term than 6 hours of fraught frustration, arguing, pulling your hair out, and telling them, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't need to hit the gym every night. You know, it's just a case of doing what you can, as long as you can do it in a good state of mind. It's a bit like working out at the gym. You keep good form in order for the exercises to be performed effectively. Okay, if you're doing 3 hours in good form, where your kids are stable and they're feeling like, oh yeah, this is okay, I'm enjoying this, and even if the lesson isn't particularly enjoyable, we're having a little bit of a laugh about it because it's so boring. But just keep spirits up and keep them in a happy, relaxed place. And the way you do that is to give them some behaviour they can model. Because if you are pulling your hair out and shouting and losing it, then they're going to react to that. It's like they will just explode in this kind of vicious circle of negativity. And the only way to break that is for you to lead from the front, and to do things like, if they're screaming and doing your head in, just go to a quiet room for a little while and lock yourself away and do a little bit of breathing and going, okay, I can get through this. This is just homeschooling. It's not a nightmare I'm going to be locked into forever. Just know that it's temporary, and one day things will return to normal. It will be okay. And if you've got external deadlines, if there's things that your teachers say you have to have this done by this, and if you don't get it in by then it's just like the world will end. It won't end. Email your teachers and tell them that if you are having trouble keeping up to speed with things, just let them know. The majority of teachers, I'm sure, will be absolutely fine with it. They will understand that it's not easy to be doing this homeschooling lark. And if they come back with any other response other than a supportive one, then just tell them to go fuck themselves. Because in the big scheme of things, this small amount of time spent homeschooling is not going to have a massive effect on the rest of their lives. Even if it's homeschooling for GCSEs, if they flunk a few GCSEs, they will get a chance to retake them. And life is not dependent on qualifications and exams. It's an important part, but it's not the be-all and end-all. It really isn't. And once you take that pressure off yourself and take the pressure off the children, then you're going to find that you can both look back on this time of lockdown and homeschooling as a pleasant experience, and you don't have to set your kids up to look at you and thinking, Jesus, being an adult must be a horrible thing, and I don't ever want kids because they look toxic. Just provide that nurturing environment where you do your best to rub along with each other, and you show them that being you and doing you is the right thing. Okay, don't let them compare themselves to other people as well. Just be proud of who you are as a family and what you're achieving, and do your best every day. And by doing your best, that doesn't mean I must achieve all this, because success really is to be able to do what you can and remain in a positive frame of mind and not fall out with each other. So I hope that helps in some small way. You might think I'm talking complete shite because I don't understand, but that's up for you to make that judgment. I won't care. I'm just doing my best here to help out some stressed parents. So have fun being temporary teachers, and keep washing your hands.